Hey everybody, it's Jenny McGarvey and I'm back with you again today to share how I planned this week in my memory planner. There is a look at last week and you can see that I already have my photos printed out for this week. I used the Pick Frame app and I printed them on my Canon selfie printer. This week I'm going to use all of these value sticker packs from the Happy Planner. I originally pulled out 3 of them thinking that's where I would stick with, and I do for the most part, but I also pull out another 1 or 2 just to add a couple more stickers to the mix. There are 2 themes going on here. One is I'm going to go with the rainbow, working from left to right and including the hot pink over on the left, which I normally do not do because it always throws me off a little bit, but I did this week and it did not throw me off. Exciting, right? And the second one is that I want to kind of incorporate a Smashbook type of idea along with the thing that I did this week, which was clustering all of my embellishments all together in one row across the page. And so combining those ideas turns out to be super eclectic, and that's what I'm doing right here. So I'm layering all of these different rainbow colored stickers across the center of the layout, and then I will add my activities, events, and photos as well. So I'm just pouring through the different sticker books trying to find the perfect stickers that will work in these spots because again, because I'm working in Roy G. Biv order, I have to, like right now, I have to find a yellow one. It has to be yellow. I can't just substitute something else. So it's a little bit of a challenge to find the right thing in sort of a timely fashion, but it's okay. It's not a big deal and I don't have any problems finding the right thing. So that definitely works out for me very well here. Now, as you can see, it's definitely a challenge, but I actually, as I've mentioned to you in the past, really enjoy it. It's not something that I find to be tedious or anything like that. I like seeing what stickers I have left, seeing what stickers come in each book, and I find myself a little bit more familiar each time that I do this. So it's really kind of a win-win if you ask me. Now, as you can see, I did finally find some yellow ones that are going to work out just fine, and I'm mixing classic size, I'm mixing big, I'm mixing teacher, I'm mixing all of the things here. I'm not sticking to just one particular size, and as you can see, next I'm going to just pull out a green quote to go in the next setup, and I think that's just such a genius idea and I will absolutely use it again in the future. And I don't mean genius in like, oh my god, I'm so amazing. I mean genius like, oh my god, I never thought of it before. This works great. So definitely don't be afraid to try new things. I have to remind myself of that occasionally. Like this particular week, I don't necessarily love the way this all turned out, but I do in the end enjoy it, and I enjoyed some of the things that I learned. So that's a real bonus. So see right there, the quote looks great there and it continues to fit my color scheme. Now I'm going to pull out the last purple from the rainbow book, and I'm using the classic size one because I don't love these purple ones mixed with the gold. It's just not colors that I love together necessarily. But see, look at all of that together. I do really like that. So it all works out wonderful. And that's kind of the thing to remember, is that the finished product is what you have to love. The steps, they might not look complete, they might not end up the way that you want them, but the finished product is what's important. Now, as you can see, I'm leaving some of the photos in their original size, which is basically about 2 by 3, but some of them I'll trim down, some of them I will punch, and some of them I will just, like I said, leave them as they are. Now, there's not really necessarily a rhyme or reason to the sizes that I choose to use. There can be in terms of if I love a photo, I might have it a little bit bigger. And it can be that if maybe it's not the greatest photo, I might have it smaller. But otherwise, it's really just more about what fits in this space than anything else. So not every photo works punched out with the circle punch because maybe you need the entire photo. And not every photo works big because maybe it doesn't need to be big. Maybe the story isn't necessarily need to be told with that size of photo. So it really just depends on the actual photo and the day as to what I do with my photos in terms of size. Now, some of these actually are fabulous, and so I probably could have printed them a little bit smaller this particular week, but I really like them, so I'm kind of glad that I kept them bigger, even though the design maybe suffers a tiny bit for it. Now I do have one punched photo, and I'm going to cut off the top so that it'll sit flush at the bottom of that sticker. And then I'm just adhering all of the photos down now that they have a space that works great for them. I'm using my Scotch ATG gun. You can get these at Michael's. They sell them a lot of places. The refills, I get generic ones on, I think the website's called Tape Depot. They're super cheap, really sticky, and last a super long time. There's a little bit of a learning curve to refilling it, but once you get the hang of that, it's really not that big of a deal. Now, as you can see, okay, we're good. I've got the decorations, I've got the photos. Now all I need to do is start planning all of my activities in my events. And because this isn't my daily planner, I don't have to add to-do lists. I don't have to worry about keeping myself on track. Since this is more of a scrapbook, I'm really just notating the things that happened. This week I won't be adding any journaling. The week is pretty full without it, and so I don't have any big open spaces that require filling. Now, that's not the reason that I'd necessarily journal every time, but it is the reason I journal sometimes. So there is not any journaling this week, but that's okay because I have lots of embellishments this week and I love changing it up. So we are definitely changing it up this week, that is without a doubt, and just wanted to notate that I won't be journaling, so you won't see me pulling out the ruler. Now I do, in a couple of spots, use the corresponding color Papermate Flare pen. Like right there, I used the red to go with the red color scheme for that particular day, but I'm not doing it consistently throughout the week because A, I don't necessarily have a pen to match every specific color, and 2, I forget, and C, haha, see what I did there? And I also sometimes don't really even want to. So it all kind of works out in the end, and it has that sort of eclectic kind of crazy feel that I love anyway. Now, as you can see, I'm varying the things that I'm doing. I'm using some stickers, I'm using some bullet point stickers, and some I'm just using those teeny tiny little reminder strips as well. So I definitely want to keep the sort of, like I already used the word eclectic, but that eclectic feel throughout the week because it's not easy to have everything be super matchy-matchy. Now here I'm laying down just 2 little label stickers to notate an activity. I will fix that bottom one because it's driving me crazy that it's not even remotely straight. I can normally stand things being a little bit crooked, but a lot crooked, forget it, I gotta fix that. So I just used those 2 layered together and staggered just a little bit to give it that slightly more fun and whimsical feeling. And then on to Wednesday. Now I'm using this list, just using my X-Acto knife and trimming that sticker down to what I need. Just using 2 of the orange colored parts of that list sticker helps me do 2 things. 1, the color matches the color layout that I need, or color palette, excuse me, that I need. And 2, I only need 2 rows. I don't need 6 rows. So 2 rows right there is perfect. It really helps stretch my stickers for something that I wouldn't ordinarily do. So for example, I wouldn't maybe necessarily use that particular sticker. It might be a little bit harder for me to use. And so I am able to cut that up with the X-Acto knife and make it work a little bit better for me. Now I was trying to stick to sort of that heavily layered along the center, so I did end up moving that photo and pulling it down. And then I'm also layering right on top of it a couple of circle stickers just for decoration here. I don't need them for anything else, but I thought they would look really cute and sort of tie the whole center together. Now obviously I still have things outside of the center, but I really did want it to be clustered tightly together right there in the middle, so that's why pulling that sticker did, or that photo down did really work a whole lot better. And I love the way that those 2 circle stickers look on top of that. Now I'm getting a feel for right now, once this is all sort of coming together, what I talked about a little bit at the beginning, which was you can't judge a project midway through or at the beginning. You kind of have to wait till the end and then take a look at what you've created as a whole and see how you like it. Because maybe partway through you're like, I don't know, this doesn't look very good. But maybe by the time you get to the end, it's either great or maybe it's something that you can live with. And that's kind of how I feel about this particular layout, which is that partway through I was definitely not quite sure what I was going to get and not quite sure if I would like it. But in the end, I really do enjoy it, and it's maybe not my favorite, but I do like it. It's definitely passable, and I feel like it taught me a lot, which I already told you already. Now, as you can see, like for Thursday, that's the perfect example. I used a big box sticker for an activity, and then I also just used that little circle as kind of a larger bullet point to notate a different activity. Now, we don't have anything going on Friday, so I won't be adding anything there. And what's kind of nice about that is that it adds a little bit of a break or a buffer for the weekend, and also a little bit of white space to give your eye kind of a little bit of a break. Now, I used one of those list stickers like traditionally used for to-dos just for a couple of different activities, leaving a little bubble in the center just to differentiate between the two activities. Now, maybe I would have wanted to cut off the bottom one with my X-Acto knife, but I didn't, so it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. And then using another little bullet point at the top for an activity as well, and then pulling out again one of these little to-do stickers for a different activity. Now I'm going to go back to the mom sticker book and pull out one of those game day stickers just to cover up the original header and then fill in my activity right there. Isn't that awesome? Well, this is pretty much it for me. I'm just going to add one more little thing with some text and then that's it. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video. I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, leave me a thumbs up. That really helps me out so much. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you back here real soon.